setting
ANBZ,
a wall around
Azul,
like
DNMR.
253, 254-ish area,
Yeah.
and then I just scalped that. I scalped it all the way to 261. My thinking in that process was um, they were setting walls on there. I saw when the ticker went to retest those areas, and I did see some volume come in, but I kept seeing the walls recycle, meaning that they kept refreshing those numbers on the level two.
Yeah.
So for me, that was just one indication, be like, okay, this is a pretty relative area where these shorts are essentially at because they kept refreshing these walls.
Yeah.
So when it came back to retest that previous resistant level at like 253 area, um,
Oh, right
and
down
I
here.
saw, yeah, so you see on, yeah. So when it came back exactly the next candle to the right, right, one more over, two more over,
Right
that red
around here.
candle. Yeah, when it came back down and I saw that I held that 253 area, which was a previous resistance, I'm like, okay, so uh, buyers are here, they're present. But that next candle, like that doji at the top, where it tried to essentially uh, break over that 260 level, it just got pushed back down. I was like,
Yeah.
okay,
Just got stuffed.
yeah. I was like, all right, I'm not interested anymore. So I really cut the rest in that
Yeah.
area. But
I
that was really it. Like, um, I tried some EQ as well, but that one was just a break-even trade. It was literally I got in, got out at the same level. Uh, it was on the second reattempt after reclaim VWAP
so right
VWAP
around this
again.
area.
Yeah, exactly right there. So when it dipped to I actually got the what's this the 8 EMA at around 242s. I
Yeah, I see
held
that.
it, but once it was giving that like a whippy price action, I cut it there. And
Yeah.
I mean, it seems like I had the right thesis because two candles after that, that's when it tried to push and break that downtrend
Yeah.
from pre-market high day, but it just got stuffed.
Yeah, I
At,
played I played this one a similar way. Right at the open, once we broke this little downtrend, I got long on this retest right here. I believe it was
okay, yeah.
at 237 average on this low volume pullback. And we had this like move up. I scaled some out. We pulled back into like 234s. I was like, all right, cool. Let's see. We're holding here. This was a previous
Hmm.
resistance area, right over here and all of this area. So I was like, all right, let's see if we can hold this as support, which we did. Then right when we got this move up, I started scaling some out on this break, anticipating, okay, we're probably gonna, you know, consolidate for a little while over this,
Base over that level.
yeah,
Yeah.
over this downtrend line before making the move higher. But right on this candle, I was like, all right, I'm out.
Yep.
So it was kind of like really nothing. It was I would consider it break even. It wasn't anything crazy, but I think yeah, just today's action was, man, it was garbage, bro. Like
Yeah. Did you catch anything on iLag the later in the afternoon or
yeah.
on beat?
So iLag, I actually played iLag a few times. Right in the morning at the bell, I seen how we started, consolidating right here, kind of creating this flag.
Yeah.
And when we got this low volume, like we had this big stuff candle after making the move up.
Hmm.
Let me try and make that volume bigger. So we had this, stuff candle right here. And then once we had this, like, on the 1 minute, I remember looking at it, was really low volume. Even on the 3 minute, it's pretty low. And we were holding this, like, 240 area. So I grabbed some, I believe my average was 242, 243 ish. And then on this first pop, we just kind of went parabolic in a way. Volume started coming in. So I just started selling some shares out around here in the 250s. I was ultimately, green on it. I was happy. Then we got this move down, and once we broke the VWAP, this is when I was like, I posted in the Goblin game. I was like, all right, I'm out my shares here from 243 around the 245 area. Then we started just consolidating whatever. So I did start a little position in it down here again once I noticed that we were holding the 245s. And then when we got this pop through our minor downtrend, I started scaling some out here. We kind of had this flag, VPA was nice. And then more sellers walked in, so I ended up getting out of the rest of that for break even. And then I believe I said that I was looking for the VWAP reclaim. So once we came back over VWAP in Goblin Gang, I posted that I was looking for VWAP reclaim and I was looking for new highs. So I ended up getting in a position here at $2.51. It was like maybe 1:30 p.m. for me Eastern, and I actually told myself, let me go get some lunch. And I was sitting on the couch eating my lunch, whatever. I put my head down, and I wake up, and I sell out of my shares right over here
No way.
for like a 2 cent gain on all of my shares from 251. So I missed this whole entire move. Like we got the new highs, we got the move that I
Yeah.
was hoping for and like looking for, but I was literally asleep.
Yeah.
So
But
I'm lucky, that it came down, it held up, and I'm lucky, I didn't have to sell for a loss. I got out of it for a
yeah.
small win. And then once I noticed right here how we reclaimed the VWAP, I actually played this right before the close. We kind of put in a little flag right here on the 3 minute, and I actually got long right here at 254, and we got this pop, and I actually just put in Goblin Gang. Whoever put that stick up there, thanks. And so I was able to catch like a little scalp out of this. Overall in this name, I was green from this name, but overall in the day, I was actually red. I believe it was. Let me go back into the chat so I can see which name it was. I think it was, yeah, Grove. Grov. Grove was, it had the setup, and Mikey like told me, look at the volume. The volume is not the greatest. And I'm trying to see exactly where it was. So it was off of this, I believe this flag, yeah, right over here. So we had this pivot right over here. We were holding this area, whole dollar level, $4 area. And I seen this flag form right here. We had a big move up. We did get stuffed, however, it was on, heavy buying. And then I should have noticed the selling pressure, And so I got long right here. I believe it was the range was between 420s to $4. So I got long at $4.11. And then literally as soon as I got long, as soon as I put it out in Goblin Gang that I was long on this position for this flag, bam, we get stuffed. And I didn't have a hard stop in place. I did have a mental stop, and I literally just started selling all my shares like once we broke four. But we fell so fast that I believe I was getting filled at, because I was selling them at market. I believe I was getting filled at like 397, 396, and so this was like one of my red trades on the day. But I mean, it's a setup that I would take any day, really. This is a nice flag setup right here. The VPA was there, although I should have noticed, that sellers were stepping in, but like, forgot who it was, but they were playing LVTX yesterday on a similar setup. We broke over finally a level that we couldn't get over, and we were holding over it for a few candles, and ultimately, it got stuffed, and I should have realized that from the plays later in the day. Like I know we were talking about this yesterday, how if one stock makes a move up, it's gonna crash. The next one makes a move up, then it crashes. Like I should expect that there isn't gonna be much follow through. And so this is one of my losers. It actually ended up coming up in just like one of those, out of nowhere, just from this consolidation. If I seen this, I should have been a buyer down here, and I would have caught this move. Trying to think if there's anything else that I played. Um,
did you see SJ at all
SJ,
today?
I did see it, but however I didn't play it because for me the volume was really light. It was a nice move, and I was
Yeah,
actually looking at SJ down here in the 220s. I believe it was right
yeah, it's
over
for
here,
yeah.
and I was looking for a pullback into this $2 level right here, 215 area. We didn't get that pullback, so I didn't get long, but overall it was like I seen this all day. I'm like, damn, this thing is just grinding up slowly, but like the volume, it wasn't really something that interests me.
I know.
And
I hate when I swear they do that like intentionally to not get interest, and then the thing
yeah,
just grinds all day, man.
yeah, this is like one of those plays where you put your money in it, and you're just sitting there like, all right, are we gonna do anything? Are we gonna do anything? And ultimately, if you had the patience, you got paid. But for me, this is way too slow. Um,
Yeah, I took a small entry at 216, but dude, it wore out my patience.
yeah, yeah, this one will like take all your mental away for the whole day. Um,
Today was such a rough day, man. I mean, and then
today
I
was,
feel like, the last hour and a half of the day, there were like, I don't know, at least 10 or more tickers that just grinded up.
yeah, today's action was, it was garbage, man.
I'm so exhausted, man. Like,
Yeah,
it's insane.
right?
Dude.
I know there was another name. There was one name I was trying to play. Oh yeah, I caught this. So I'm not really proud of how I played PXMD because Gary came out and said there was a 5 minute flag, and he said there was a flag. Well, my first play on PXMD was off of this pivot, the 309 area pivot, and I actually got to catch this little move up for a quick scalp. We did get stuffed, and thankfully I was in the scalp mindset. I was like, all right, quick move, let me take my gains. So I was happy about that. I had, I believe, no wait, I don't think this is where I played it. No, I played it off the 297 pivot, and we got this move up into like 308s. And so I was happy with that one because I was in a scalp mindset, and it worked out. And then Gary called out a 5 minute flag setup. I'm seeing it now. How he's seen that flag, and I played it and I won on it. And the only reason why I'm not really happy with it is because like, as a trader, you got to be honest with yourself. And when Gary called this out, I was like, all right, cool, whatever. I just started buying it right down here in the low threes, and that's the only reason why I'm not really happy with it. It did work out. I was able to exit on this pop to 320s, and it ended up getting stuffed and whatnot, just like everything else during the day. But this is another play that I took, and like I said, I wasn't really proud of it because I just followed an alert like blindly, and I just put my money in it, and it worked out. It couldn't have worked out, but this one did. Did anyone else play PXMD?
I didn't play it, but I was kind of walking it through with another trader who I actually just met through the YouTube channel. So
Nice.
we were actually on this from on your screen at 11:30. So we saw the move up from 11:20s, right?
Yeah.
A key level that I had was 292 specifically on the daily level because that was the last candle from when it just completely knifed. So that right there, you see that 292
Yeah,
area
right
is.
over here.
Yeah, and so initially I actually wanted it for it, to try to get down that like 275 area,
Yeah.
but we just noticed like, dude, it's not coming down, and we saw EMA's catching up. The 1 minute, I mean, it did try to go like try to make like a 3 bar play on there on
Right
the
over
5 minutes.
here.
So
R, right,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah. But the moment that it tried to retest the second tap at 11:30s,
Yeah.
when I saw that come back and bounce off that level, I'm like, okay, this is a relative level. I mean, it's basing off this level. It doesn't want to go any lower. And when it tapped again at 310s, um, and that doji on the right with some decent volume, I was okay. So we know that level that they're trying to keep this level down at 310s.
Yeah.
But when they faded to the right, it did so on low volume. So that's something that I've been noticing more, and kind of just putting with the whole confluence of understanding really key levels, right? Is
Yeah.
okay. It got stopped out right there, but it still held that key level at 292. Um, uh, I took a bathroom I took a bathroom break at this area, but my buddy, he caught it. He got in at 297s, and he wrote this down to 325s.
Oh, wow,
So
nice.
he got a really nice trade off of that.
Oh,
But yeah,
yeah.
but this was probably like the only setup I saw today that it had it had a nice flagpole. It had a good VPA on the 5 minute. It was holding to a key level, and it broke to new highs. But
Yep.
like all the other days we've been seeing, it's it's the initial move, maybe even the first move, but that's it. Like there's no follow through after that.
Yeah. Yeah, no, this was a really nice setup, and I remember I believe I seen it down here, but I just didn't really have much confidence. But yeah, hell yeah, man! Props to your buddy for catching this. This is a really nice flag. Now that I look at it, nice 5 minute setup, low volume, then buyers
Yeah,
step in and ramp it up, and I'm sure right when everyone else seen this candle, and especially compared with the high volume, they're like, all right, cool, time to get out.
right. Yeah, no, exactly. And so it's it's good having those daily levels already set, and because that gives you more confidence in the setup that you're looking at. And so yeah, I'm glad this one worked out for him. So
Yeah.
good one.
There was another one. Oh, there was one trade that I actually had an order out for, and I could not get filled on it. And I'm glad I didn't. It ended up coming down. I don't know which one it was. I'm looking at my orders right now. I'm trying to see. I know Herb was on this one. Let me look back in the chat. That'll be the easiest way. Cause like it was a really nice level, and it was like it was initial high day pivot, and I know he said he was long, and then when it dipped down, yeah, ATHX, that's what it was.
ATHX. Yeah, he remember that he mentioned that earlier in the day.
Yeah, so ATHX, I was looking at it, I believe, on the 3 minute. And the level I was looking at, you guys can probably already see it, but I was looking at, this level right here. We came down right on this knife, right into the level, and we held. And right when we held, we bounced up really quickly, and I had an order out at 157. And if you look on the 1 minute, we kind of just hovered around this area. And then when I seen these candles, like, obviously there was no volume, but like one of my rules are like, look, if you see these specs in the chart, just don't even bother wasting your time, and I literally noticed this, and right before this candle came down, I would have got filled on this candle. I actually wrote excuse me, I actually wrote in the chat that I canceled my order because there's like no volume on it, and I actually have the thing right here. I'll screenshot it and bring it over to the screen so you guys can see it. So right here in the chat, um, you guys can see how I said trying ATHS light off initial high day pivot. This was the pivot. This was our drop
Yeah.
into the pivot. And then, like, literally a couple seconds later, well, not a couple seconds, but a few minutes, I posted this one. That I canceled my order at 157 on this one, no volume. So I'm glad, I noticed that, and I was able to cancel my order before it got filled, and ultimately it would have been a shitty trade, so I'm glad that I was able to notice that and cancel my order before I got filled.
Yeah, that was a really good
Really?
catch on your end. The volume just, like you mentioned, it just dried up
All
essentially.
around today, man.
Yeah.
Today was basically a replicate of yesterday, man.
Yep.
Volume was light, there was no follow through, and like the only name that really did have follow through, and I'm actually really mad at myself about this name, was ATXI, because ATXI in the morning, I believe I was on the 10 minute chart. I actually seen this flag setting up, and I put in the stock chat in the Goblin Gang this morning that there was a 10 minute flag going on into open, and I
Yep.
actually didn't get long on this flag, and the reason why I didn't get long is because people started talking about, oh, this is another room's pump, oh, it's so extended, and I let all these words kind of get into my own head, and it
Mhm.
stopped me from actually getting in and taking the position, and the name of the game is always to listen to yourself, so that's why I'm kind of mad at myself about this play, because man, right at the bell, this thing didn't even pull back. It just, like, I'm sure if you had a scanner, your scanner was just going crazy. And even when we
Yeah.
dip down here, usually I like to try off these halt levels, but this name I didn't even try it just because I was like, all right, you know what, we were at $5 this morning. We're all the way up here at $8. I'm not gonna be that guy, especially when we're not getting follow through. And then it does another, screw you move and puts in new highs all the way to 11. I'm like, oh man, come on. So this one right over here is I called this one out in Goblin Gang. I said, it's breaking downtrend here. I actually had my order out, and I literally just didn't get filled. I had an 870 limit out, and I was waiting for that quick pullback into 870s, and then continuation. And my order just wasn't filled, and we had this screw you move all the way to like 980s. And I know Javi, he was in chat, in the stock chat, talking about how he caught it, but it was such a clean downtrend break. Volume was really light, coming into the downtrend break right over here, and then right when we break downtrend, bam, low volume pullback, and buyers just start slapping it. And I literally just couldn't get filled. And we did come down a few times, like over here, but I assumed in this whole action, I was like dead asleep. And when I came back, I seen this move, and I was like, oh, okay, I didn't really miss anything. So yeah, those were basically my trades for the day. Um, if anyone else has any like other trades that they took, we can go over them real quick.
Two that I was watching Sava again, SAVA all day, and that thing was driving me nuts. Because when the thing pops up to I don't know around 46, and then it drops back to 45, and it did that like 3 times,
Yeah.
and after the first time, the second time, it's like there's no way that the third time, it's just
Yeah,
it's
just
hard. It's
frustrating.
hard
Yeah.
to, you know what I mean? Like,
Like, come on,
because
pick a damn direction.
when it does it once and then twice, it's like there's no way. When it went down to 45.15 again, or 08, whatever it was.
Yeah.
It's like there's no way that this thing. And then sure enough, it did, man. And there was an interesting part in ATXI that I wanted to ask you about.
What's up?
It was right. Let me look real quick. Sorry.
No, take your time.
It was the. Let me see here. It was right before it popped. Towards the end of the day.
Around this area.
It was at like 12 o'clock Mountain Time. So I don't know where are you? Are you East Coast?
Yeah, I'm Eastern, East Side, East Coast.
So yeah, like 2 o'clock.
Yeah.
I was noticing it. It kept holding the like the $9 level, and then it moved up to 902, and then 903.
Yeah.
And I could tell that it was like an accumulation period, but I still just man. I can read these things fairly well, but it's like I still just can't trust myself, man.
Yeah, that's something everyone goes through. Like even me, like there was honestly a point with my trading where, like I was so scared. I was scared to even get in with like 100 shares, man. And the only way, I personally that I think you'll overcome that is literally like sizing down. Like even if it's one share, like you just have to train in your mind, pressing that buy button and getting in and like putting your skin in the game. Like just it's one of those things, like you just got to do it. Like, and that's why I say
Yeah,
like one share, because you're, even though you're not focusing on the money, you're just focusing on the execution. That one share will just start training your mind. Okay, here's a setup, I buy in. Okay, here's a flag, I buy in. Okay, here's a double bottom, I buy in. So you just like,
yeah,
it's one of those things where you just have to do it, man. And especially like over and over when you see that you're right. Like there's gonna be a point, and this is like how I came over it. There was a point where I was like, man, fuck this. Like, excuse my language, but I was like, man,
no,
fuck
that's fine.
this. Like I'm calling out all these plays, and I'm not taking them, and they're all freaking
Yeah,
running. And so I literally
yeah,
like I just got so mad with myself, and the madness. I guess the anger kind of motivated me to start getting in these. And this was like about, I don't know, maybe a year ago. And I just started buying from there, and one will work out, and then you'll be like, oh, okay, cool, that wasn't really that bad. And then second one, you take your loss, you're like, man, screw this shit. And then third, fourth, fifth, whatever, you win on it, and then it's like, okay, you know what, it's not that bad, I just got to manage my risk, etc. But that's one of those things. Either like you're gonna get mad enough to the point where you just say screw it, or you're just gonna slowly train your mind to see the setup and execute on it.
Yeah, I mean, dude, I'm not lying. There were at least 4 times this morning. Skin was one of them. Skin's one that I've been watching for the past 3 days, and it made an incredible move overnight, but on insanely low volume in pre-market that you can't even trade that.
Yeah,
But it climbed like over $1 a share.
yeah,
But I've been watching it for the past 2 days since, wait, let's say Tuesday.
yeah,
I guess since Friday is when I started watching it. But um,
yeah,
man, it's infuriating. I even said that in chat too, that it was reversing on Friday, but it had a pullback yesterday and then popped today.
yeah.
But uh, and then with the other one with SJ, I saw that on my scanner this morning, and I took a small entry, but then it was just dragging along. So
Yeah.
small gains, but and the other one was APRN was another one this morning that uh, um,
Nice moves on APRN. Oh, actually, I played this one. I got stopped out of this one. I remember playing this one. I actually, I believe it was right over here when we pulled back into this 490 area, and you can kind of see how it lines up with the initial, not the initial high day, but kind of
yeah,
one of the run ups that we had. And I told myself, okay, I had a little more size on this one because I was like a little green on the day, and then I was like, all right, let me catch this one move, and I'll be done for the day. My day will be set. So I did take a little more size. So I believe I was in this one at like 495 ish. And I remember telling myself we're risking off 490, and we ultimately broke 490, came down to 485. I literally got out right at the break of 490, so I did manage risk properly. But yeah, the pivot just didn't hold, and then I literally told myself. I remember going to the ILAG chart right after, because then we started playing ILAG, and I remember telling myself I'm gonna go back to APRN later in the day, and it's gonna make new highs. And I literally came back around. I
yeah,
think. Oh yeah, when Fizz mentioned this move over here, he's like, let's see if VWAP holds. I came back to
yep,
APRN. I'm like, all right, what did it do in the morning? And I seen this. I was like, oh my god, like this move would have freaking paid me, man. And
yeah.
so I mean, it is what it is. But
Then the
today's,
last one that totally drove me insane was Beat this morning because I was eyeing that pre-market and just didn't have the gall
yeah,
to get in. And sure enough, man, I saw my edge, but I still didn't act on it. And then man, it's infuriating. I wish I had a trained monkey that could just press the buy button for me. I could just tell it to buy in, because it's crazy how much psychological happens between when you see your edge, you see your entry, and actually turning off the fear and just
yeah,
entering in. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah. That's like all the professionals traders even say it. Like even when you're just coming in the game, like it's all mental, man. It's all freaking mental. And
yeah, I mean, dude, I've been trading for almost 3 years, but I haven't really taken it full on serious until this year.
yeah,
And
but man,
you
look, I
know,
see. Like man, this would have been a good trade. I wish you got in.
dude, right before open. But I always have that. I don't like to hold stuff into open.
I get that.
You
Yeah,
know, and it's just like I saw my edge, and you know a split second too late, and then and in this market, I mean, if something goes up, one candle, I don't. I tell myself I missed the move, because I feel like the way that things slam down so quickly
yeah, I agree.
can slam down so quickly.
Yeah, everything was kind of just like yesterday. Come up, come down, come up, come down, and yeah. But man, like judging from the past couple of trades, man, I hope you start listening to yourself. Like I hope you.
Dude.
I really hope you do, man. Cause shit, you would have got paid on this.
I know, man.
It's tough, man. But
But
honestly, like take the advice that I'm giving you and like try to, because honestly, I went through like the very, very, very similar issue, and try playing with like something that if you do lose, it's not gonna hurt you at all. Like sure, it's gonna if you're buying one
Yeah,
square, it's not gonna be shit. You know, you're not gonna make anything. But like I
yeah.
said, just
I was doing 50 and 100 today, and I made 3 trades, and they were decent trades, but you know, uh,
yeah,
just not, you know. And it's funny, I saw this, people just talking a while ago about how it's not so much, what you make on a trade, but when you execute your plan like to a T, that's like the most rewarding thing. And dude, it totally is for me, man. I mean, of course I like to make money, but
definitely.
it's
Who
like
doesn't?
when you just have a plan laid out and the thing goes almost, exactly to it.
Yeah,
But
and you follow everything. Yeah, there's no better feeling than that. I can agree with that. Yeah,
so, I mean, I had a small green day today. I'm furious at all the ones that I missed, but like you're saying, man, hopefully it'll get to a point of so much frustration that I just, will
but
start listening to myself,
yeah,
man.
but don't let it get there. You know, try to do something about it. You know, try to just like another thing you can even do, and I'm just throwing out suggestions here. Like another thing you can do is just wherever you think you're supposed to get in, just put your your order in over there, and if it gets filled, just put your hands in your pockets, or like literally
Yeah,
sit on your hands and just watch the chart. So that way, like you can't do anything. Like even another thing you can do is like set your stop loss. You know, a hard stop where you think it. You know, you want to stop out at, and literally sit on your hands or put your hands in your pockets and just watch the chart. And if it hits a take profit, let's say you get in right here and you say, okay, my first take profit's up at 260, but my stop loss is below 240. Your stop wasn't hit, and let's say you come up to 260. Pull your hand out of your pocket and take some profit and put it right back under your put it right back into your pocket, man. That's
yeah,
that's something Mark. You know who Mark Douglas is?
yeah, yeah. Of
Yeah, that's
course,
actually
yeah.
one of the lessons that he teaches in one of his like little seminars. So I've never tried it, but like I'm just passing on his words, so maybe that could work for you.
Yeah, I mean, are you talking about the YouTube, the
Yeah, yeah.
4-part
There was
YouTube
like the
series?
trading psychology. There was like 4 videos, I
Yeah,
believe.
yeah, dude, that guy is, man. That really, I need to watch that again. I've watched that seriously like 5 times, and every time I get to a point like I'm at now, I really need to
Yeah.
watch that again. But I did do that on INM. I set it. Oh man, I can't even remember where I took my entry now, but I think it was 90. But I set, 96 when it dipped down to 96 at what time? 12:33.
Are you talking about INM?
Yeah, INM.
Oh,
Yeah, I
okay.
don't know what I said. Sorry.
Yeah, you were saying 96. That's how I'm like, wait, 96 what? Oh, you mean 596?
696 is where,
Oh, okay,
because
yeah.
it made that move up, and then I saw it, kind of consolidating, uh,
Yeah.
and it seemed like another accumulation point, but it didn't pop nearly as hard. I was hoping for it to break a little more, but it was a
Yeah.
nice little move. I mean, I only took a 10 cent gain on it, but um, it ended up breaking up through VWAP, but then got rejected.
Yeah, I see a few times, yeah. Yeah, I mean, it looks like, like, let's say you had, like, size on this, man. If you just caught this quick little move from 696 to 730s, your day would have been set.
I know.
Like, wow, man. Your technical analysis is there. Like, it clearly is. You're clearly reading volume, like, even if you got a scalp move out of this 690s to 730s, that's a really nice scalp move.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
really
I mean,
hope you
dude.
start, I really hope you just start pressing buy, man. I really freaking do. There's
Cool. I don't.
there's another book. Have you ever read Trading in the Zone?
No, I know that's by him also, but
Great one.
it's something that I really need to look into. And when he talks about just how every trade, you don't need to know what happens next in order to make money.
Exactly.
You identify your risk, and that's like the whole thing. You know what I mean? Like,
Exactly.
there's so many trades. I would have taken at least 5 to 8 trades today, and identified my risk, but just didn't pull the trigger. And it's crazy, man. I feel like all these hours of screen time have literally got me backwards, man.
You know, that's
It's not.
actually something that there was a point in my trading journey where I felt that too. Like there was a point where I was like, I wasn't winning, and if I was winning, I was winning small. So there was a point where I was like, okay, I got to learn more about the markets. And I feel like learning more about the markets kind of screwed me in a way because I was like, okay, wait, but then what if the algos do this and start liquidating
Yeah,
this and, putting all these nonsense scenarios in my head. But Mark Douglas makes a really good point, and you restated it very well. You just have to identify your risk. Okay, I'm willing to risk 100 to see if this trade works out, and either I lose 100 or I potentially make 120, 150, and so on. But like, dude, you're there, man. You just got to start pressing buy, man.
yeah, yeah.
And another thing about trading in the zone. So I'm on my second time. Well, not reading it, but I do have a PDF. I'll actually post my PDFs in the study check because I have quite a few. But with trading in the zone, I have this thing on YouTube, and there's like this page I found, and they like have all of his books and stuff, and it's just like an audio book. So normally, what I do is when I go on my like daily walk or whatever, I'll pop some headphones in, I'll listen to like 2 or 3 chapters, and that's another thing that you can do because I don't know if you work and maybe you're doing something with your hands. You can just listen in on it, and same thing as reading it.
Yeah, no, I'm trading full time right now. I've been working at it for many years, but this year has been the the full on
Yeah,
experience. But that's a really good idea though, because I do go for walks every day.
yeah, there you
Um,
go. That can be very beneficial.
yeah,
Like even if you go to the gym, like I know when I go to the gym, I pop my headphones in, trading in the zone. If I go for a walk, pop my headphones in, trading in the zone. So it's very helpful. You kind of get two birds done with one stone.
yeah, for sure.
Anyone else? Is there anyone else make any trades? Anything they want to go over? Nothing. Let me see if there was anything else that I traded today. Let me look through my orders real quick. Oh, XFOR. This is another one. I was lucky enough to get out of this one with a freaking win. But looking at it on the 10 minute, this is actually right when I woke up. I came to my computer and I seen this like 10-minute flag trying to set up over this level. VPA wasn't really the best, but it was very low risk, so I decided to take it. I got in at 123s, or what did I get filled at? Yeah, I got in at 123s on the pullback, and we got a little move into 128, and I was out of the whole move at 127 and 126, so I caught like a little scalp on it, and really didn't give any follow through as you can see, but like, really nice
I think,
slow grinder.
yeah, all day, man. I wasn't even on my radar.
Yeah, I seen this one from the Weeble Top Gainers, and like I said, right when I woke up, I seen this flagpole. We started consolidating, so I grabbed some down here, and I'm glad I was able to catch a little move off of it. But really, it's not the greatest move because if you look at the volume, it's garbage. And these are things like you got to be honest with yourself about these things. Like people will catch this trade and be like, "Oh, I won on this trade, sick." Then you go look back at it and you're like, "Dude, what the hell was I doing? Like, why'd I even play this thing?" Like looking at it right now, honestly, that's my thought. Like, like
Yeah,
cool if this opened up on high volume, started ripping 130s, 140s, volume would have looked way different. But looking at it now, like, what the hell was I thinking?
Yeah, I'm glad that you made that point from yesterday about whatever ticker that was yesterday.
There was
L
LITM,
LV. It was
LVTX.
LVTX, I believe, because
Yeah,
I got caught up in a bad trade in that because of impulsiveness from watching it all day. But noticing that the volume, the red volume, uh, was a really good point. And it's
yeah,
something that I definitely jotted down and committed to memory, man.
yeah. Yeah, even the one yesterday when you played it right over here. I mean, like I said, you managed risk well. Like this. This kind of reminds me of one of the trades that I took today, and I don't remember exactly which one it was, but you had that break over. You literally just couldn't hold, and
Mm.
you ultimately just failed. And even today, I see we kind of came down to this area. This might be an area to watch. Really, like it's proved itself multiple times so far.
Yeah, yeah.
Try and see if you get a dip in like 440s in that area and then risk off like 430, give it some wiggle room. But this area seems to be where the buyers are, willing to come in. Let's see. Yeah, there's a bunch of sellers up here near the 470s. This one's got quite a spread as well. Wow, bid's at 458, the ask is at 473. So
Yeah, man.
once you just do it, man. Just do it. Just do it. Like your TA is there, man. I'm looking at these other charts that you showed me, and hey, they worked out, and you said you took 3 trades on the day, and you came out green. So I mean that goes for something, right?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's crazy too, because I keep a watch list going and a scanner and all, but it it's crazy, man. I swear, yesterday and today and other days also. But it's like I'll come to a ticker that it's not really making the move quite yet, but it's got my eye. I'm watching it for a minute or two, and then I swear it's nuts, man. It literally, as I'm about to buy, as I'm about to place my order, it it just pops up,
Yeah,
and at that point it's like it's such a hard decision because it's like you're probably not going to get your entry. Now you're extending yourself more than you'd like to,
yeah. Risk is not the same, and all that.
and that's just been happening so much, and it's preventing me from entering the trade because it's like you miss that initial, and then they pop it up 5 or 10 cents or whatever, and it's just enough to you know what I mean.
Yeah.
It's I don't know, that's the other aspect that's really been preventing me from getting
So
you
like
know.
when you see your setup and everything, and you're about to execute, it's like, is it like just you like you freeze in a way, like you're like, I don't know, do you start second guessing yourself, like do you not feel confident enough to pull the trigger, like?
Well, I definitely, I have a tendency to second guess, but once I see it, elevate itself, the way that the market has been going, at least for me, it's like if you see a green candle, it's like your time is numbered.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? Your time's limited. So if you see, even if it's a 5, 10 cent, whatever move it is, you know what I mean? Like I've just gotten caught in a few recently, not bad or anything, but it's just that not getting your fill, and because TOS definitely at times they've been good to me, but man, they've just not been very good with me with fills for the
same,
past couple
man,
months.
same,
It's been rough, man.
same. I
And
know,
I
like it's been tough with me as well with the fills.
Yeah, and I was actually I started with Fidelity years ago, and their platform is pretty basic, but man, I had a massive issue with there was a glitch in their programming that they could care less,
Yeah.
but so I switched to TOS, but um, you know
Yeah, I think majority of the brokers now just have crappy fills, man.
Yeah.
I wish like right when you press it, whatever you press it at, don't give me a penny lower, don't give me a penny higher, give me what I pressed it at.
I know, man.
But yeah, man, I mean, today was another one of those choppy days, man. If it's like it sucks, man, and I really hope tomorrow. Well, who knows? Tomorrow could be shittier. And
I mean, it was super choppy today, but then it was like, I swear there was like 8 to 10 tickers that just like ran up, that just grinded up like the
yup.
end of the day. And it was so, man, it was so infuriating.
I actually noticed something today. So today, what I was noticing was like this. So a stock, for example, it'd be like this. We'd just be consolidating. We'd make a little move up, come down. Then out of
Yeah.
nowhere, just boom, straight
Yeah.
up, and then straight back down. I was noticing
It was
that
like heat
so much
yesterday.
today.
Yeah.
And it sucked because, like, what the hell, man? Like, where's this volume? Like, it really made me think, okay, these are private rooms. Like, these have to
Yeah.
be private rooms calling these out to their members, and that's the only reason why they're getting hit with volume out of nowhere.
Damn. Is that RUM?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
literally just started seeing it hop on the scanner, so I'm like, what the hell's going on over here?
Damn,
I see a little
man.
trend flip. We got a little uptrend going now from this downtrend.
All right, fellas, I'm out of here. I gotta join the work meeting, but
Oh, yeah.
I'll post the my trade again, the one we reviewed earlier. I know there was a couple guys that weren't in this meeting, so I'll repost it on the chat
Definitely.
just in case anybody has any questions, or just we could just feed off each other.
Definitely. All right, Hot Rod. Well, you enjoy your shifts, man. We'll catch you later.
All
Thanks,
right,
man.
see you guys.
Yep.
Later.
Then I gotta head out of here soon at like 5 p.m. It's 4:56 over here. So like real quick, does anyone else want to go over anything? Like, does anyone want to share their screen and show any of their trades or talk about anything?
Yeah, I had a similar thought process to you on ATXI. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, we hear you all right.
Okay. Um, yeah, right in the morning I was looking at it. I thought it was the best setup, but then I seen the float and I was like, okay, this can get out of hand real quick. That's kind of what scared me off of it.
Yeah.
So I did end up taking that, but then I ended up taking a dip later in the day, like $4 higher. So, I mean,
Yeah, there were a couple dips on this one, but like same with me, man. I seen like right here this pullback and it was off the halt level, but like I was like, man,
yeah, I took it after that. Like, I would have been okay with that, but I took it after that, and that was terrible in hindsight. Took it
yeah,
at
It was crazy, too,
uh,
that I was marking out the zone of accumulation, or supply demand, whatever you want to call it, but the thing right at 9:55, so 11:55 East Coast time. I
yeah,
mean, it just dipped in there
yeah,
twice, and man, it's just nuts how that happens.
yeah. Same. Like I'm kind of like how I didn't get filled over here on my limit at 870, man. That like made me so salty because like those 870s we had to move all the way up to 980. Like that would have been really really nice on the day.
Yeah,
And then we
damn.
had these dips down here, and I know I was awake for I was awake for this dip over here, but I was like, man, screw it. Then I ended up falling asleep for this whole move. Came back and seen this, but yeah,
I took
man,
it at
this
11 after was forming that wedge. I wasn't looking at it very long before I entered. I sort of took it off my radar after it ran up like that.
yeah,
Um, and then I got it at like 9:65 maybe, off that 11 Eastern candle. And then it dipped further, so I just cut it immediately. And then I looked
yeah,
at it after, just like, what? Like, what are you doing? Like, I
yeah,
probably got like 500 screenshots of 5 minute flags, and none of them look like that. So
yeah. This
that was
one was
upsetting.
Yeah,
very you know, the spread was crazy on it, man. Like
Yeah,
it was if you weren't in for this move, then like honestly, this move over here, like I wouldn't even touch it. And like I'm
yeah,
kind of mad that I didn't take it down here, but I mean my mindset was okay. I could have had it at $5. Do I want to pay $8 for it now, especially with the market condition that we're in?
I know,
And I was
dude.
like, man. Then it pulls up, you know, a screw you move all the way to 11, and it's like, haha, you could have had me.
Yeah, and I took eye lag as well. I posted that in the chat, so it's not. I took it once. I took it once more after that. It was forming a flag around 12:50 Eastern.
Yeah.
I took it there. The entry was good, but I cut it before it even popped.
This one
So
right over here.
yeah, yeah, that's when I posted it. I took it after that too.
Oh, okay.
On the other flag that it popped up at 12:40 and it pulled back to VWAP.
Did you post that one in the chat?
No, I didn't post that one in the chat.
Oh, okay, yeah. I see this one. Yeah, nice flag, and kind of just failed.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm okay with that. I manage risk decently well, but the issue is when I get, you know, really good trades like SOBR on the 20th, I'm cutting it in like the exact same spots, which is really annoying.
Yeah. Yeah, today's action was rough, man. You know, it wasn't anything, you know, going crazy over, and it's one of those preserve your capital, manage your risk type of days, you know?
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah. Well, all right, guys, I got to get out of here real quick. So it was great chatting with you all. You know, it was great to review with you all. Hopefully, we can do this all again tomorrow, and hopefully, tomorrow's hotter.
Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure.
And then,
I appreciate it, man.
of course, man. Then one more thing before you guys get out of here. I did record this. Are you guys cool if I share this to the chat? Just, you know.
Yeah, 100%.
Okay, cool.
Yeah,
Hume, are you
for
cool with
sure.
that as well?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, cool,
Yep.
cool. I just wanted to make sure. Alrighty, guys, you enjoy your day, and I guess we'll catch you guys tomorrow.
Okay,
Sounds good.
Alrighty, take care.
Later.